Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to talk to you about the message for today. And that is that when we are public speaking, the best thing that we can do is think about speaking from our heart. Now, this might sound a little woo-woo, this might sound a little cliche, but really, if you get down to it, speaking from your heart will make everything else work. So let me tell you what I'm talking about. When I work with clients, I'm usually teaching them a series or a set of techniques. So, this is how you end your sentences. This is how you sound confident with your voice. This is how you move your hands or stop moving your hands. This is how you stand. This is how you hold your head. And you put all of these techniques together, and you have clear communication. You have authority and gravitas. But and this is a little bit of an outside in approach, right? Because I'm telling you all the things to do with your body, I'm telling you all the things to do with your voice so that when synthesized, you can exude a certain presence. So there's another way to go about this, which is called the inside out approach, which means that you shift something on the inside and everything else on the outside takes its place, falls into place. And this is the type of shift that I'm talking about. And so, mentally, we can have this checklist of Rebecca said, make eye contact in this way. Rebecca said, move your hands in this way. Rebecca said, keep your head on straight, or whatever else it might be. But this can be very taxing and very draining. And ultimately, it can maybe not get us to where we want to go, making an impact on our audience, having the desired effect of inspiring hearts and minds, or even helping us to just feel comfortable, more comfortable communicating, public speaking, and actually maybe even enjoying it because we're so busy checking all of our boxes. So, a maybe more effective way to think about excelling in your public speaking is having a bit of a heart shift or an intention shift. And this intention shift that I wanted to bring up today is speaking from the place of your heart as opposed to your mind. So, in our mind, that's the part of our intelligence that checks boxes, that, excuse me, checks boxes, right? That is making sure that we deliver all of our content and we don't make any mistakes. And yes, sometimes that gets us to where we want to go, but most of the time it only gets us halfway. What people are really impacted by, what people really feel and admire and are impressed by, even surprised, and their whole energy is taken to the next level is when you speak from your heart. Now, of course, you got to check your boxes, you got to know your stuff, you have to say correct content. That doesn't get you away from the necessity of that. But when you speak from your heart, you start to actually impact the energy of the room. You actually start to connect with the other hearts in the room. You start to have an opportunity to step into presence, magnetism. And these are all the states of being that we are wanting, that we are striving for. So, how do you speak from your heart? How do you come from your heart? Well, there's a few ways to do this, obviously. In fact, there's probably an infinity number of ways, an infinite number of ways. Sorry, this is a morning video. An infinite number of ways to do this, but here are a couple. So the first is think about what's truly exciting um, to you about what you're talking about. What are you truly passionate about or passionate to share? What are you really curious about? In essence, what in your messaging, what in your talking points actually starts to make your heart beat a little bit faster? What hooks into your heart and starts to pull out some emotions? We're pretty separated from our emotions these days, right? We are cut off, around our neck. And we don't feel our heart, we don't feel our emotions as much because really it hasn't served us in our current working world. So that's why I'm saying anything that gets your heart to palpitate a little bit, anything that gets your juices going is going to be your access point to the energy that will help you to really affect your audience, make an impact on them. So that's one technique is think about what area of your material really does get your heart going a little pitter patter, and then start with that and say the words, I'm excited to share with you, or I'm super passionate about, or let me start with something that's really interesting to me right now. Use those emotional words to kickstart you. That's how you should start your presentation. Because if you start on that foot of already being connected to your heart, your emotions, you are most likely to carry that out throughout your entire presentation and ultimately make your presentation sticky, make your audience be able to feel you. And you can say that I'm woo woo or whatever, but you know it's true. We don't care about a talking head. We care about a human being communicating their passion. So, the next way that you can access your passion and speak from your heart is to remind yourself of why you're there. And I do this by asking myself, what gift am I here to bring? And you can use that mindset too. What gift am I here to give, to bring? How can I make my audience's lives just a little bit better? Just one step up from where they are? What's the one gift I'm here to deliver to my audience that they didn't have before? Maybe it's information that they didn't know. Maybe it's a way to make their life simpler and easier and more efficient. Maybe it's a way for them to make a little more money. Maybe it's a way for them to have just a little bit more support so they have a little more work-life balance. Maybe it's just the joy that you're bringing. So just giving them an experience in your talk or whatever it might be that just amplifies their joy for just a few minutes. So think about, what gift am I here to bring? This mindset, this phrase, this question that you ask yourself focuses you on your message. This is the gift that I'm here to bring. And everything else that comes needs to support that message, right? Your content is only there in order to support the gift you're there to bring. This question for yourself helps you to anchor back into your heart. Ultimately, you're asking yourself, ultimately, why am I doing this? Why is this important? Why am I putting myself in this situation where my fight or flight mechanism is going haywire? Why am I doing this to myself? Oh, right. There's the reason. Because I'm here to give a gift. This is my job to give this gift at this moment, and I'm the best person to do it. This helps you to not be such a perfectionist. Everything must go perfectly. I must check all of my boxes. No, that's not ultimately effective. Do we all love to see somebody perfect on the stage? No, we don't. We like to see someone who's human. So, the most important thing is that we access our heart and we speak from our heart. When we do that, we really connect and start to affect people, and they don't care if we're saying it perfectly. They care if we care and if they feel connected to us. So, there's so much power in this one simple question, which creates a mindset shift, which helps you to focus your entire talk or presentation or whatever it might be, helps you to feel more enjoyment and satisfaction, and ultimately to achieve something even greater than you visioned for yourself. And we'll talk about that more later. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you soon.